Good good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. Sorry about that. Still getting over my sickness here. So tonight we have a good one here. It is Nashville Super Speedway here with the super late models with the Postma flooring tour. And I tell you what, 23 cars here on the premise ready to do battle. And I got a sneak peek here coming up, what's to come. And I tell you what, you want to stay to the end. It's an exciting finish there. So as we kick things on off, let's go to tonight's starting lineup for 70 laps here at Nashville Super Speedway. Noah Boucher will lead the field to the green flag in the 16 machine. Tis outside the 48 car of Tim Rogers. Eric Holly in the 5 will start third. Rolling off P number 4 will be the 1 car of Tanner Tallarico. Chase Swank having himself a great qualifying effort here. He will start 5th in the 155, and Deb McDonald in the 18 machine will roll off 6th. 7th will be the 199. That is Jeff Pogo. With starting 8th is the 38 of Dave Payne. Starting 9th is the 86 of Stephen Hoffman. 10th is Anthony Danta in the 09. Zach Nichols in the 44 will start 11th. And quick time qualifier in the 91 car, Andrew Payne will start in 12th position. Then we head back a little bit further here. 13th will be Donald Castillo in the 37 machine. Ron Hart in the 51 will start 14th. 15th going to the 8 car of Alex Oriens. 16th is the 13 of Zach Coyer. 17th is the 88 of Chuck Darling. Starting 18th is the 2 of John DeMeester. Jamie Leach in the 22 will start 19th. 20th going to Stephen Rochford in the 66. 21st is Ty Delphia in the 013. Dan Dill in the 11 will start 22nd. And starting shotgun on the field here tonight will be the 41 of TJ Hassan. So cars rolling here to the racetrack, and I tell you what, I believe will be a quick start here. So I think pace truck should be coming off this time, so we'll get everyone ready to rock and roll and turn these boys loose. Like I said, 70 laps going to be the distance, and if you can see the lap counter on the left, you see already it says 71. So this race does have some extra laps in it, and we'll have a green-white checkered. You won't miss that because it is a wild one for sure. So here we go. Front row here tonight will be Noah Boucher and Tim Rogers. Noah rocking the LaPlante number 16 machine. The iRacing pace truck heads off of pit road, and now we wait on Noah to jump on the loud pedal here. We'll wait a long time to do so, and now we go green flag racing here at Nashville Super Speedway. Field will dive down into turn number 1 first and second, single file, then side by side further on back as Tanner Tallarico makes that high side work. He's able to get third. Eric Holly might be stuck in the middle of 3 wide here just on lap number 1. Holly still hanging strong there in the middle. We'll lose the spot to Devin McDonald. Now here comes Chase Swank there on the bottom side in that 55 machine. Draft definitely pretty strong here with these super late models, but I tell you what, still gonna matter how you carry your momentum through these corners and what line you run. Drivers do have a set of tires in the pits if they want to use it, and I think here tonight drivers don't have enough to make it on fuel with it being 70 laps, so we will see everyone at least down once on the pit road to at least add some fuel to their race cars. Out in front though, Noah leading the way in the 16 machine. I believe first start this season, and right now doing a great job at it, leading the field as Tanner Tallarico has moved up into second. Eric Holly trying to fight back from that 55 machine, stay inside the top 5. Looks like we'll clear the 55 there off at turn number 4. We'll see what kind of runs the cars behind him get. Anthony Danta here in this 09 machine. He has not, I don't believe he has left this top side here tonight, so going to the clean air, just trying to make sure he can get that car to stick, and driving slowly but surely to the front here tonight in that 09. As you see right in front of him and Dave Payne there in the 38 machine, the 5 and the 55 once again side by side here. So now this is where it gets tough. You got to pretty much just follow the car in front of you and hope that you chose right which lane you want to follow. As Chase Swank able to get clear there. So now here comes Dave Payne to try and get around the 5 car. Out in front though, battle for the race lead. Here comes Tanner Tallarico. Tallarico to the inside of the 16. And at the stripe, Tallarico will lead here. He will also get clear. Going to try and tow along the 48 machine of Tim Rogers right there as well. The 18 of Dev McDonald in the mix. So since Zach Nichols won last week, or the previous week I should say, at Oswego, he had to start in the back here tonight. He has already driven up into 15th here, so keep an eye on that 44 machine. He could have a chance to for sure win here tonight with how this track is so different than most of any other tracks we go to on the schedule. Take a look a little bit further back here. Alex Orions and TJ Hassan side by side here. Is a battle for 20th here on the racetrack. 23 cars did take the green flag here tonight. Currently still 23 cars out on the speedway. 3 wide here on the front straightaway as Zach Nichols looking to the inside of Zach Coyer there. Will back on out of it by the time they get to turn number 1. Coyer able to clear the 199 to Jeff Pogo. Now Zach Nichols going to try and do the same. Looks like Nichols there going to be able to do that there into turn number 3. So the 44 now up into P number 14. Further towards the front here, Andrew Payne has driven himself into the top 5. Payne now putting pressure on the 16. Dienta up into 6th as well in the 09. So these two going to have to keep an eye on, see their kind of pace. Another 2 cars to keep an eye on pace is this 86 of Stephen Hoffman, as well as the 51 of Ron Hart. Both these drivers starting to make their way to the front of the field as well here tonight. As these guys will think about 3 wide here on the front stretch. Ron Hart will back on out of it here this time by. Hoffman should get clear of the 38 car. No, he does not. So they'll stay side by side here down the backstretch. As now Hoffman will get clear of the 38. Now Ron Hart will try and do the same. He will get clear. Payton able to slot into line, get back into the draft before the 55. Can stick his nose to the left rear quarter panel. Eric Holly still losing a few spots out here tonight. Holly has dropped outside of the top 10 here. Once again, Holly in 3 wide situation. How's this going to work out? Nichols and Coyer lean on each other. Maybe some more. Man, that is close racing. Eric Holly will lose both of those spots there. As Zach Nichols getting closer and closer to that top 10 here early on in this race. I mean, we've only completed 12 laps of the 70, so still a lot of racing to be had, but it has been action-packed here to kick off the night. Now the top 5 all on top of each other as Andrew Payne and Anthony Danta have joined in the mix. Payne looking to the inside of Dev McDonald here into turn number 1. He will have a car to the inside of the 18. Dev McDonald gives him some room, so it's going to be a heads-up drag race here down the back straightaway. Looks like Andrew Payne should be able to clear. Yes, he does. So Payne up into a podium spot. Danta going to try and do the exact same. As we see this 37 car of Donald Castillo. Castillo stuck up in lane number 2 here in that 37 machine. Currently to the outside is Zach Core, going to try and get down to the bottom side maybe sooner rather than later, because he has Eric Holly right there as well in the 5 car. So those two will continue to stay side by side by the time they dive it down into turn number 1. But I believe that spot will be here to Core here in very short amount of time. Out in front though, Tanner Tallarico says, hey, the pace is too much for my liking. I'm giving it on up. So new race leader here once again. Tim Rogers will come across the stripe and lead this lap here. So Rogers in the 48 machine out in front. Further on back, 3 wide here on corner entry. Dave Payton, Chase Swank get into it. Payton trying to leave room for Zach Nichols. He gets into the side of Swank. Swank will give him a little bit of some action back, but both those cars going to lose a lot of positions here. As it's still not done. Dave Payton gets in the side of Jamie Leach there in the 22 machine. But yeah, Payton right in just inside the top 10, now falls all the way to 15, so losing about 5 spots in that one lap here for the 38 machine, and maybe some more. Out in front, top 3 trying to check on out here as Dev McDonald has fallen on back now to the clutches of Ron Hart, Anthony Danta, Stephen Hoffman, and Noah Boucher still right there as well. Dev McDonald will get a piece of the wall on entry into 1. That will slow down the car, make it tight on entry, and he has to go way up the racetrack. He will lose all those positions. So now Ron Hart gets clear. He will try and track down the top 3 as they are still side by side behind him. Oh man, Danta and Hoffman leaning on each other just a little bit. Still side by side for that 5th position. Not anymore though, as Stephen Hoffman will take it from the 09 machine. I mean, these guys have to be a little bit smart here at the moment. Try and work together just a little bit. Make sure that front group does not get too far out in front, that is. You're heading back towards the mid-pack here. Chuck Darling trying to work over Zach Coyer. I mean, one of the last times we were at a big track like this, it was Iowa Speedway last season's in the street stocks, and Chuck Darling did a great job saving his stuff. He knows kind of how to do that, have the right kind of pace there at the end. Was able to walk away with a checkered flag. I'm sure a very similar mindset coming into tonight to say, hey, we got to keep this thing under me at least for the first, 50 laps, and then be there at the end when it counts. But out in front here, Tim Rogers leading the way. Let's ride on board with Rogers. See what he is seeing out here. I mean, nice, easy, clean track, but just listen to the little off throttle time here at Nashville Super Speedway. That will be a lap around the Nashville Super Speedway here. And lap times aren't the slowest around this place. I mean, 30-second lap times for over a mile speedway is definitely moving here in these super late models. As with those guys behind getting single file, they have caught that first group. I think that first group trying to save just a little bit here. So now the race is back on here. We'll see if Ron Hart decides to go or any of the cars behind. One car decided to go, the 09 car of Anthony Danta, to the inside of Stephen Hoffman. Those two side by side for a second. Now Danta will get clear. He'll slide in front of the 86. But out in front, no changes here. It is Tim Rogers, Tanner Tallarico, Andrew Payne, Ron Hart, Anthony Danta making up the top 5 here at the moment. Head back a little bit deeper in the pack here. Chase Swing trying to work over Jeff Pogo. Is a battle just outside of the top 10 here between the 55 and the 199. Has almost contact there in corner entry into turn number 3. Look at this, 3 wide into turn number 1. How will this work? Stephen Hoffman almost gets touched there, but I think it was Zach Nichols that forced the move. He says, I need to get to the front sooner than later. So the 44 from the back continuing to make his way to the front here tonight. As almost more contact there between the 86 and the 16 machine. Those two cars getting very, very close to each other. Once again, some side drafting down the straightaway, so some tough racing here early on. More contact as Stephen Hoffman gets moved up the track there. Man, oh man, how will this work out? These boys got to be careful, because a big wreck at these speeds here tonight will probably mean your night's over. It's not like a short track where you can bounce it off the wall and continue on. Here tonight with the speeds, I mean, cars getting above 160 miles an hour. That can for sure total super late model here. Besides that battle, we're just watching the other battle heating on up as more cars joining into this pack here, as Chase Swink and Jeff Pogo still have not decided who wanted to be out in front. That allows now Zach Hoyer, Jamie Leach, Dave Payton, Ty Delphia, Chuck Darling, Dan Dill all in the mix as well. Out in front though, Anthony Danta continuing to make his way towards the front here. He says, I don't got time for saving, I'm going. And he has driven up to P number 2. Now the next car behind our race leader, Tim Rogers. Looks like Ron Hart has followed the 51 here to the front as well. So those two, we'll see how they can do, how quickly they can try and move around Rogers as Rogers gets a piece of the wall there. Battle still raging on as Chase Swank finally able to get clear. Jeff Pogo still stuck up in lane number 2 here. Looks like Pogo can maybe finally get a chance to get down to the bottom. That he does. Now Dave Payne, Zach Hoyer side by side out towards the front though. Anthony Danta trying to take the lead away from Tim Rogers. Side-by-side battle here down the backstretch for the race lead here at Nashville Super Speedway. Danta will drive it in there deep, have the preferred line, and off of turn number 4. new race leader, Anthony Danta, here will lead at the stripe. Rogers able to find a gap there in P number 3, so he will slot in line behind the 51. As we continue to bounce around the speedway, not too many battles here at the moment. Cars starting to spread on out as Eric Holly getting around Donald Castillo. So Eric Holly back into the top 10 here tonight in the 5. And I tell you what, folks, what a change it has been since the last time these drivers were out on track. Oswego, man, a lot of cautions there here tonight so far. No cautions yet. Next time by will be the halfway point. So these guys have driven the first half of this race clean and green. That's the kind of racing we like to see here. As further up towards the front, Andrew Payne getting around Tim Rogers, and we have Ron Hart out in front. So Hart taking the lead away from Anthony Danta, and Ron Hart will lead here at the cross flags as we are halfway down, halfway home in tonight's race. As we get a caution flag here, one car slow on the speedway. I believe TJ Hassan here involved in this one, so that will slow down the field for the first time here tonight, right at the halfway point. So I think with this caution coming out when it does, we'll see the entire field down on pit road to at least fill up their race cars with fuel, and we'll see who decides to take tires, who decides to gamble and stay on out and hope for a later caution. As the field will woe on up here, try and wait for the iRacing pace truck and then get ready for their pit stops here. So Ron Hart going to lead the field down to pits. And that is what he'll do. We'll see looks like everyone inside the top 10 come on down, as well as the rest of the field. So here we go. A long line of cars here jumping on down. And now is the time for the call from the top of the pit box, trying to figure out what is the right strategy as we take a look here at the end of pit road, see when drivers come on out of their stalls. Oh, when we already see a red car here rolling early, I believe it is Andrew Payne. That stopped quick enough, probably not enough time for any tires, as usually it's over 12 seconds to at least take some tires. And yet, Andrew Payne on pit road for 8 seconds, so Payne will come out with the race lead. But no tires on that race car. Danta going to be able to beat Ron Hart off. Danta will come off second. Ron Hart third. Stephen Hoffman fourth. And then Noah Boucher in P number 5 off of pit road. So it looks like a few cars getting some extra repairs done on their race cars, that being the 66 of Stephen Rochford, maybe the 11 of Dan Dill, as well as the 8 car of Alex Orions. As here we go at the stripe, lights will go out on the iRacing pace truck as well as around the speedway. We are going to turn him loose next time by. Andrew Payne selects the inside lane here on the restart. Payne, only driver with no tires, a lot of the field with 2 tires. Then I believe the first car on 4 tires will be the 44 of Zach Nichols. Nichols coming off of pit road in P number 12, so he will have a little bit of work cut out for him, but he knows a thing or two about starting in the 12th position. As when we go back green, it will be about 30 laps to go left in this one. So definitely on the shorter side of things, but still a long way to go here at Nashville Superspeedway. Anything can happen as we get ready for the iRacing to pace truck to head down pit road. It will do just that. Now it's going to be Payne, Danta on the front row, and these two have a little bit of drama between themselves, but Andrew Payne fires out of a cannon. He is able to check on out as we head back green flag racing. Wow, Payne already about a half a second advantage. Ron Hart will drive it in there deep, slide across the nose of the 09. Here comes Danta with the crossover. Danta trying to cross over the 51 machine, had to start in the outside lane, now back down to the bottom. I think should be able to clear Ron Hart. Yes, he does. Hart will slot into line right behind them. A great battle with 4 cars in it heading into turn number 1. A little bit of contact there. Noah Boucher into the back of Stephen Hoffman. Hoffman had to get out of the throttle just a little bit, got a little bit loose. That allows Deb McDonald now to get clear of the 86 machine. So McDonald back into the top 5. He is running in that 4th position. A 1 car hard in the wall there off of turn number 4. That is the 13 machine of Zach Hoyer. Hoyer will back on out of it, get back to the bottom side, and with that wall hit, Hoyer falls outside of the top 10 here. So Andrew Payne leading the way over Anthony Danta. Last time by, Danta just did the fastest lap of anyone here tonight. Just ran a 30.54. As we ride on board with Zach Hoyer, you can see once again flirting with that wall on corner exit of turn number 4. It comes up to you in a hurry, and if you don't have your car positioned just right, you can go out there and smack that thing. And I tell you what, here you want as much aero advantage as you can, so hitting the wall will not help your case whatsoever. And back up towards the front here, though, Andrew Payne in the ASRC house car still leading the way over Anthony Danta in second. Danta has reeled the 91 car back in, though, within a car length, so within striking distance is Danta. Danta, I believe, let me double check my numbers. Yeah, Danta looking for his 2nd win on the season. And now to the inside of Andrew Payne for the race lead. They make contact off of turn number 4. They will door bang quite a bit there. But so far, both their race cars looking pretty clean here. As Danta trying to take the race lead away and take it on back. He will get a push from the 51 machine, gets a good run, will sail it on in there. Try and keep that thing pinned right against that yellow inside lane. As now with these leaders side by side, that has slowed them on enough that here comes Deb McDonald. He is in the mix. Now Tanner Tallarico, Stephen Hoffman, Noah Boucher right there as well. Anthony Danta will take over the race lead. Here comes now Ron Hart to the inside of Payne. Yeah, I wonder with Payne with those old tires, how can he hang on to the position now that he's up in lane number 2? Is he at a deficit, or is it just because he's in the not preferred lane here tonight? As that time by, we get 25 laps left to go in this one. So we have entered into the countdown clock here at Nashville Superspeedway. As Ron Hart will get clear of Andrew Payne there off of turn number 4. Can Payne slot down to the bottom side? No, he cannot. So with these guys side by side for second, that's allowing now Anthony Danta to run away just a little bit. Now probably won't be the case because Ron Hart definitely clear now. Here comes now Devin McDonald up into a podium spot as Tanner Tallarico right there. Zach Nichols, he is up into 7th here in the 44 machine. So Nichols on 4 fresh tires, only driver with that. I should say the furthest driver forward with that is the 44 machine. Andrew Payne able to defend that spot from Dev McDonald, so Payne will hang on to P number 3. Here comes now Tanner Tallarico trying to get around the 18 of Dev McDonald. Those two will drag race here down the backstretch. As we ride on board with Tallarico. I believe coming into tonight, points very, very close between Zach Nichols as well as Tanner Tallarico. So this battle may be a one to watch throughout the season between this 1 and this 44. Oh, as Tanner Tallarico goes on around here, he will slide through the grass. He'll keep it off the wall, but I think Tallarico off the nose of Zach Nichols. We saw those cars very, very close. Well, that will send the one car all the way to the back. He will rejoin the race in 23rd as we still have every driver out here. So Tallarico's going to have to hope for a caution before it's all said and done. But what a heartbreaking event for the one car. This time by at the stripe, we will see now 19 laps to go here in this one. So Anthony Danta leading the way over Ron Hart. Then it's Andrew Payne in 3rd, Noah Boucher in 4th, Donald Castillo in 5th. As we get a caution on the speedway. Chase Swank here, slow and through the grass. I believe Swank and another car made contact, and then that is what brought out the caution. So that will slow down the field here tonight, and we'll go to a quick commercial break. On the other side, we'll head back to Green Flag Racing here at Nashville. Looks like it is shaping up to be about a 15-lap shootout here tonight. As you can see, Andrew Payne not up here. Payne coming down pit road. He will take his 4 new tires now, so Andrew Payne will start 15th. Jeff Pogo did tap on out there, so Pogo saying, hey, that was my bad for that last caution. So here we go. Danta and Ron Hart on the front row here. These two having some history this season here in the Supers. Danta on the loud pedal. He'll get things rocking and rolling. Oh, a little bit of contact there for 3rd. But we head to Green Flag Racing here. field will make its way here through turns 1 and 2. Danta out in front. He's going to try and run away. Devin McDonald up into third. Ron Hart second. Stephen Hoffman in fourth. Donald Castillo up in the top 5. That 37 machine trying to turn around the night. And what a night it would be if he could finish up there in the top 5 right there doing just that though. So at the moment, top 10 all single filed out. First car trying to make a move here is the 91 machine of Andrew Payne. Payne on those fresher tires, going to try and use them all up as quickly as possible. As everyone else trying to ride on around right in front of him. Tim Rogers looking to the inside of Chuck Darling. That would be a battle for a top 10 finish here tonight. Up in the top 5 now, Zach Nichols trying to get around the 37 machine of Donald Castillo. Almost contact there in the middle of 3 and 4. Dave Payton almost gets turned on around there. Some bump draft in there, almost gone bad. Payton trying to find his way as well to the top 5. And time starting to run out of the hourglass. This time by at the start finish line. It will now be only 11 laps to go here tonight at Nashville Super Speedway. Oh, there's one car in the wall there off of turn number 4. That is the 48 machine of Tim Rogers. And this yellow car we got to talk about, the one of Tanner Tallarico, got spun down the backstretch, did not bring out a caution. He was able to get a caution and now has a fighting chance for maybe even a top 10 finish when it's all said and done. Tallarico trying to march his way back through the field here. As this time by at the start finish line, 2 open palms from the flagman, 2 open hands. It is 10 laps to go. Out in front though, no one really slicing and dicing it up too much. I think everyone's just trying to click away the laps, get this thing closer to the end, and then start to turn up the wick like it's a super speedway race, which is fitting for the name of the track. As you hear Ron in that draft, they're having to play with the throttle just a little bit to make sure he doesn't give the 9 car too big of a shot, as it's tough to really bump draft with these cars. I mean, these super late model noses are so low and so rounded, and the rear bumpers are so high that if you start to make contact, you could easily jack up the car in front of you, lift those rear tires off the ground, and then just send them out of control, kind of like what we saw with the 1 car of Tallarico. Tallarico able to get around Chuck Darling there for 11. So Tanner's definitely going to have a shot at a top 10 finish before it's all said and done. And back up towards the front here, Dave Payne up into 6th, but now under pressure from Zach Coyer. Coyer able to get around the 37 machine. Now the 91 going to try and do the same as well. Up towards the front, the first driver to jump out of line inside the top 5 is the 44 of Zach Nichols. Nichols to the inside of Stephen Hoffman. Those two will drag race here off of turn number 4. Hoffman will have the momentum, but Nichols will have the preferred lane once they get into these corners. Nichols down low, able to get clear, so can Zach Nichols go from the back to the front before it's all said and done? He's got 5.5 more laps to do it. As, oh, car's having some trouble. Tim Rogers around, And it looks like that will bring out a caution flag. We'll have to see what happened here. It looks like Chuck Darling coasting to pit road. So did Darling run out of fuel? And yeah, it sounds like he did. The 88 out of fuel must not have taken enough down on pit road. Oh man, with that timing of that caution, that will lead now to a green-white checkered here tonight. And I tell you what, with these cars, how sketchy they are and everything else in between, man, this is going to be an exciting finish here to end things off. So the top 5 on the following restart will look like the following: Anthony Danta, then it is Ron Hart, Dev McDonald in 3rd, Zach Nichols 4th, Stephen Hoffman 5th, Dave Payne in 6th, 7th, Andrew Payne, 8th going to Zach Hoyer, and then Donald Castillo inside the top 10 and 9th. Eric Holly as well in the top 10. He will restart 10th. Tanner Tallarico trying to rebound here tonight. He will roll off 11th here on this final restart. 12th is Ty Delphia. 13th, Stephen Rochford. 14th, Jeff Pogo. 15th, Chase Swank. 16th is Dan Dill. 17th, Noah Boucher. 18th, TJ Hassan. 19th, Jamie Leach. 20th, John DeMeester. 21st, Alex Oriens. 22nd, Tim Rogers. Looks like Chuck Darling may be calling it a night here. I think on this restart here, we got to go high in the stands here and get a nice wide angle. We head up to the spotter stand to get ready to see the ending of this one. The lights will go on out, and here's our one attempt at a green-white checkered. So, as we've seen previously this season, green-white checkers, we will take the green flag. Then if the caution comes out before we take the white flag, we will finish this race under yellow like we did at Stafford. But if we take the white flag, we are racing back to the checkered where anything can happen. Can Anthony Danta pick up win number 2 of the season? Can Zach Nichols go from the back to the front? How about Ron Hart? He has been up here all season long. He would look for his first win this season, as well as how about Dev McDonald? He has visited victory lane a handful of times in his career. Has a great shot at it here tonight. Here we go, folks. We now wait for the iRacing pace truck to head down pit road. Then, when does the 09 car of Danta go? He can go anytime once his pace truck heads on down and does exactly that. Danta will wait a little bit, jump on the loud pedal, and here we go for a green-white checkered shootout here at Nashville Superspeedway. Danta is away, gets away with a good start. Devin McDonald up into second. He could have a shot to win this thing. Stephen Hoffman trying to take third away from Ron Hart. Zach Nichols up in lane number 2. Here comes Andrew Payne on those fresher tires. What more does Payne have? And it looks like here in the field we will get the white flag. One more lap to go. 3, almost 4 wide further on back in the pack. Oh, it's contact. The 66 and the 13 hard in the wall. Man, oh man, those were some big hits, but since we took the white flag, we are racing back to the stripe. Here we go, Dev McDonald to the back bumper. He gives Danta a shot. He gives Danta a huge shot. They both have to chase their race cars up the racetrack. Here comes Stephen Hoffman. Can Hoffman steal it on away? Oh, McDonald, huge in the wall. Stephen Hoffman will win at one car flipping. Oh man, Danta goes for a huge ride as the whole field is collected. Holy smokes, folks. Wow, we are going to have to rewatch that one back. But out in front, Stephen Hoffman, where did he come from? He was able to steal that one on away, led only one lap here tonight, and it was the most important lap. As Stephen Hoffman will bring it down to the front stretch, top three. Stephen Hoffman, Ron Hart, then it is Andrew Payne in third. As Stephen Hoffman still cruising around the speedway, probably taking it all in. Like, did that really happen here? Hoffman does have a few super speedways wins here in ASRC, and I tell you what, putting on a great show here. I think as Stephen Hoffman celebrates this, I think we got to take a look one more time here at that wreck and just see what happened there. Coming off of turn number 4, we'll slow it on down for all of us to look at, but wow, what a wreck. I mean, Danta doing barrel rolls through the grass. He led the field down the backstretch and then went for a wild ride. I believe when it's all said and done, the 09 car finished 6th. So, not the win that he was hoping for, but wow. As Stephen Hoffman will burn it on down, let's take a look here off of turn number 4 one more time and see what happens. So, contact already made from the 18 to the 9 to move him up out of the racetrack. The 9 then gets into the wall, comes off the wall, and then makes contact with Devin McDonald. And that is the ultimate move that then lets Stephen Hoffman to go on by. Then, I mean, Devin McDonald, some huge hits there. Then we got to see what happened to the 09 here just to get a view. I mean, wow, what? Talk about some airtime, then catches the grass. Eric Holly in that 5 car, massive hit to the outside wall. Then Danta will bounce off his roof into the catch fence as sparks and cars just going everywhere. Wow, what a finish. And I mean, Anthony Danta, a wild ride. Let's run it back one more time, maybe at full speed, just riding on board with Anthony Danta. That's him getting up in the air. He comes back down, and then wow, what a barrel roll from a super late model for that thing to end up like he did. Woo. So yeah, folks, that will do it here from Nashville Super Speedway. So let's head to our race results and then get things on moving. So Stephen Hoffman in the 86 machine will pick up the win here. Ron Hart will finish second. Third going to the 91 of Andrew Payne. Finishing in fourth is the 44 of Zach Nichols. Then it is Donald Castillo finishing in fifth. Sixth going to Anthony Danta. Seventh is Dave Payne. Eighth is Zach Core. Ninth is Eric Holly. Rounding out the top 10 is Tanner Tallarico. Jeff Pogo will finish 11th. 12th going to Noah Boucher. 13th is Chase Swank. 14th, Dan Dill. 15th is TJ Hassan. 16th going to Tim Rogers. 17th is Jamie Leach. 18th is John DeMeester. Then behind John will look like the following. Finishing 19th is Alex Oriens. 20th, Devin McDonald. 21st is Stephen Roachford. 22nd, Ty Delphia. And then 23rd is Chuck Darling. And yeah, folks, that will do it here tonight. So everyone, take care, stay safe. If you want to be a part of the race in action, session is live right now in ASRC. Can jump out there at South Boston. Of course, we got to thank our partners, that being Premier Setup Shop. So everyone take care, have a great rest of your week, and we'll be back tomorrow night for some street stock action. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.